free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go home today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. I have to say this. You guys will see the interview later. We'll put it out. But Elika Laban, I did an interview with her. If you don't know who she is, go look her up. Elika Laban. It's kind of like Erica, but Elika. She killed it in an interview we did earlier today. I wish I'd have done it live, but, you know, our time didn't match up right. But make sure you stay tuned and look out for that interview. She was absolutely amazing. But this Israeli-Iranian conflict, obviously, y'all know how I feel about it. I think Donald Trump did what he did his thug thistle. He did what he was supposed to do. He support the country. He's not getting us into endless wars, so on and so forth. I will say that till I'm blue in the face, and not because Donald Trump is paying me. Somebody probably think he gave me this chain. Well, by the way, this is plastic. It's a plastic chain. The police officer gave me in D.C. I just like it. It's cool, though. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I had it. I could sell it. But anyway, I want to play some clips of Donald Trump savagely just dismantling reporters at the NATO conference about Iran and Israel. Roll the clip.
Do we have any questions, please? Wow. That's a lot of questions. Who's a nice person? Oh, you're not a nice person, but I'll let you ask one. Go ahead. What's he going to ask? He is not nice at all. I know him well.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time before flying home. You just said you believe the conflict between Israel and Iran is over. What makes you so confident it is? And what do you do if it isn't?
Because I dealt with both, and they're both tired, exhausted. They fought very, very hard and very viciously, very violently, and they were both satisfied to go home and get out. And can it start again? I guess someday it can. It could maybe start soon. I think a big telltale sign was when, as you know, Iran somewhat, by not much, violated the ceasefire, and Israel had the planes going out that morning, and there were a lot of them, 52 of them. And I said, you got to get them back. And they brought them back. They didn't do anything. They brought them back. It was very good. I thought it was amazing, actually. They have fought a hell of a war. They fought very hard. I think the war ended actually when we hit the various nuclear sites with the planes. And I just hope you people can give these pilots, these are the best pilots in the world. They're the best shots in the world. They call them shots. That's what they are. And wait a minute. And I just hope you can give them the respect they deserve, because they came home to fake news. And like, oh, gee, there was hardly any damage. The things are decimated. So, but I think, no, I think they're very much finished. I think Israel's going to get back to doing what they do, and I think that Iran's going to get back. You know, Iran has a huge advantage. They have great oil, and they can do things. I don't see them getting back involved in the nuclear business anymore. I think they've had it. They've been at it for 20 years, and I don't see that happening either. Now, if it does, we're always there. It won't be me. It'll be somebody else, but we're there. We'll have to do something about it. Yes, please, go ahead. Go ahead.
I love what he said. We got more clips because this is very interesting. I love what he said is that, look, if they do it again, we'll be back, you know, and somebody else will be back. But somebody else in this country need to do something. And let me tell you why it's not unique to Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton said she was going to stand up against Iran. Obama said he was going to stand up against Iran. Biden said he was going to stand up against Iran. And then Kamala Harris on the campaign trail said the biggest threat to America is Iran. Like, Donald Trump has been talking about Iran for decades, or at least a decade. So y'all get what I'm saying? People are now turning on Trump and being like, he needs to get impeached. That's not my president no more. He's really, you know, he getting us in the wars. And no, he didn't. I just wonder sometimes the way some people think about things. Donald Trump, I don't like everything he does. I don't like everything he say, but man, I'm telling you, the guy seems to impress me every single time he opened his mouth and do something major in a conflict. I was worried that, is he biting off more than he could chew? Then look at how it all panned out. Like, the dude know what he's doing, man, and I trust him. And my biggest fear is when he's no longer in office, can somebody else have the cojones to step up and say, I'm going to get this stuff done no matter what? Let's go to the next clip 16. Roll it.
This was an unbelievable hit by genius pilots and genius people in the military, and they're not being given credit for it because we have scum that's in this group, and not all of you are. You have some great reporters, but you have scum. CNN is scum. MSDNC is scum. The New York Times is scum. They're bad people. They're sick. And what they've done is they're trying to make this unbelievable victory into something less. Now, even they admit that it was hit very hard, okay? But it wasn't hit hard. It was hit brutally, and it knocked it out. The original word that I use, I guess it got us in trouble because it's a strong word. It was obliteration. And you'll see that. And it's going to come out. Israel is doing a report on it now, I understand. And I was told that they said it was total obliteration. You know, they have guys that go in there after the hit, and they say it was total obliteration. And you know, I don't want it for me. I want it for the pilots. I want it for the military. They did such a good job. If you were in the Situation Room with me, with the generals and all of the people that did such a good job, and then they get demeaned by these idiots at CNN who can't get ratings. The place is dying. Nobody wants to even waste their time going on their shows. So they form with the New York Times, who's dying also. Without Trump, you wouldn't have.
He was going to say, without Trump, you wouldn't even have a network. Let's go to clip 17. I love that Trump is just keeping it real, man. I like that he's just keeping it real. Like, I'm kind of afraid once he's not the president anymore, are we going to have somebody that's just going to keep it real? Or are we going to go back to politicians? I don't know. Roll the clip.
Please, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, fake news, CNN? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Wait till you hear this question.
Thank you, sir.
You should really say how great our soldiers and our warriors are.
I think everyone appreciates our soldiers and our warriors. I do have two questions for you, Mr. President. You just cited Israeli intelligence on these attacks. Earlier, you said U.S. intelligence was inconclusive. Are you relying on Israeli intelligence for your assessment of the impact of the strikes?
No, this is also Iran made the statement. And it's also, if you read the document that was given, that Pete can talk about if you'd like, the document said it could be very severe damage, but they didn't take that. They said it could be limited or it could be very severe. They really didn't know, other than to say it could be limited or it could be very, very severe. And you didn't choose to put that because it was very early after. Since then, we've collected additional intelligence. We've also spoken to people who have seen the site, and the site is obliterated. And we think everything nuclear is down there. They didn't take it out. Okay.
Next clip. Roll it. This is Hexa.
There's a reason the president calls out fake news for what it is. These pilots, these refuelers, these fighters, these air defenders, the skill and the courage it took.
I want y'all to understand this real quick. They flew 18 hours to do this mission on an airplane. They flew. They weren't just at work for 18. They were flying and refueling for 18 hours. Have you ever driven a car for 18 hours? Imagine flying in the air for 18 hours. These dudes are unbelievable. Roll the clip back. Just reset it and go back. All right.
There's a reason the president calls out fake news for what it is. These pilots, these refuelers, these fighters, these air defenders, the skill and the courage it took to go into enemy territory flying 36 hours on behalf of the American people and the world to take out a nuclear program is beyond what anyone in this audience can fathom. And then the instinct of CNN, the instinct of the New York Times is to try to find a way to spin it for their own political reasons to try to hurt President Trump or our country. They don't care what the troops think. They don't care what the world thinks. They want to spin it to try to make him look bad based on a leak. Of course, we've all seen plenty of leakers. And what do leakers do? They have agendas. And what do? Do they share the whole information or just the part that they want to introduce? And when they introduce that preliminary report that's deemed to be a low assessment, you know what a low assessment means? Low confidence in the data in that report. And why is there low confidence? Because all of the evidence of what was just bombed by 12 30,000-pound bombs is buried under a mountain, devastated and obliterated. So if you want to make an assessment of what happened at Fordo, you better get a big shovel and go really deep, because Iran's nuclear program is obliterated. And somebody somewhere is trying to leak something to say, oh, with low confidence, we think maybe it's moderate. Those that dropped the bombs precisely in the right place know exactly what happened when that exploded. And you know who else knows? Iran. That's why they came to the table right away, because their nuclear capabilities have been set back beyond what they thought were possible because of the courage of a commander-in-chief who led our troops, despite what the fake news wants to say.
Boom. I think that's the last one. Now we got how many? We got one more. One more clip. Roll it.
I mean, we may do papers on it, Marco. Maybe we're going to do papers. I don't even know if you need them. They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
From Sky News. Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No?
He did
it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that, but do you hope
boosts his ego like a
they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own without...
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning.
Trump ain't even entertaining it. They call you daddy. They just want to. I thought that was a funny take. I thought that was actually a good question to change up the pace. But anyway, let's get to some other news. I just wanted to get some of that news out of the way. Liver King was arrested after he traveled to Austin. I guess he was trying to fight Joe Rogan. I have to say this, man. Like, Liver King if you look at him, I think he aged like 35 years in just like a month. And I'm not saying this to like be mean to him or anything like that. I don't know what Liver King was thinking. Sometimes money and greed will make you do all kind of crazy stuff. I remember the first time I saw this dude eating a cow balls or something and eating livers and stuff. I said, this dude is crazy. But I also actually believed to a certain degree that he was actually living the lifestyle. And then I watch other people's content and they're like, oh, this dude is completely fake. He is not natty. Natty means natural. They say, oh, this dude is definitely juicing. This dude is on the gear, all kind of other stuff because of the way his six-pack look, his veins in his arms, and, you know, just how the striations of his muscles are showing and him being that muscular, that a lot of people who take gear or juice or whatever they call it, they know what it looked like. And I said, man, if this guy is taking juice and he's selling these supplements on ancestral tenets, and he's living his whole lifestyle as if he's living off the grid and outside, and he's catching and killing his own food, and this guy's faking, that's going to be crazy. What happened? What was it, last year or the year before last? Came out, the Liver King was taking like $12,000 a month in steroids, and that ancestral lifestyle stuff probably was a hack. They had a Netflix thing that we watched, and they literally, he must have paid for it, somebody paid for it, to make a Netflix series that just spoke well about him, and they didn't even talk about the fact that he was a complete fraud. Well, I guess he's running around crawling on all fours with a blue mouth and one dilated eye, talking about how he want to fight Joe Rogan. Now, I don't know how it started, but I can't tell you how it would end up if he actually tried to fight Joe Rogan. Play the clip.
Yeah. And these items are for you?
I wouldn't take that. Or anything and everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore.
Pause it.
All of this is happening. We're
Pause
coming.
it. Dang, man, you missed the spot, right where his eyes were straight. Let's get his eyes right there. You know, go back a little bit and then play it. I'll tell you when to stop it. You gotta be ready.
We don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening.
Right. God dang it. It's all right. But no, play it, fast forward a little bit. I want y'all to see his eyes. It's the craziest thing I ever seen. There you go. That's the best we're gonna do. If you could tell, his mouth is blue and his eye, one of them is dilated on, if you look at the TV like I'm looking at, I think the people see it like I see it. The one on the right is not dilated. The one on the left is dilated. Hold on.
It's his right eye.
I'm saying if you look at my TV screen and you see it like I'm looking at it, his right eye is not dilated. His left eye, if you're looking at it face on, well, like from your perspective, not his perspective, but his right eye is not dilated. Left eye is dilated like nobody business, and his mouth is blue. Now, I think it's methylene blue that he's eating or drinking, and it's making his mouth look blue. But I don't know how the eyes are dilated like that. Is he doing coke or something? It's the steroids? I don't know. Maybe people, I don't know, man. One eye dilated, the other one not. You can't be seeing straight. Roll the clip.
All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. Honorable. And we don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make the videos for us. And you don't have to hold a camera. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did to give you something to fight for, because I have my family to fight for. And then I'll die for them, you know that. And you're a black belt, but you've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out. I pray to God, because that's a dream come true. It feels good. And then the limbs, I'm fighting for my family. So limb. Go ahead. But then you have to contend with something else. And I weigh 177 pounds. An actual savage. And so at first you're like, that guy. And right? When you all of a sudden he did get your attention, which I already did before this, you're saying, I'm going to choke that piece of I'm going to choke him out. That's what warriors do. You and Andrew Tate are good warriors. but you're actually better than that real tension we have. Comedy that you do is good and true. We have real tension, but what I see in you is comedy is good and true. Touch points. Oh, people laugh if we don't make fun of them at their expense. They laugh. You should all make fun of me. You should all make fun of me at my expense. Trust me, that it still works, and then you should get paid for it. And let's go. Because we're leaving. We're going to Austin. What was my very last point?
That we're gonna kick Joe Rogan's ass?
The real G said it. Oh, it's my speech. Justin Fitz.
Now, there's a video that's worse than all of these videos. If you go to Liver King's page on Instagram, he got another video where he's in the hotel right before he gets arrested and he's prepping to get arrested. I mean, literally in his underwear in the living room, and then he puts his clothes on and he got a shirt that says Joe Rogan versus Liver King. He's got a little merch that he made. You see the boxes where he just made merch about it. And he ended up going to Austin, Texas in the hotel room, and I guess they found out because he was live streaming or something like that, and they ended up arresting him for terroristic threats. I think I got to see what the charges were. Let's see. Held on a $20,000 bond. And return whether he remained in custody next day. What did he? Let me just read this real quick. It says Johnson, which is his last name. He traveled to Austin, Texas, where Joe Rogan resides, and posted a video challenging Joe Rogan to a man-to-man fight, acknowledging in the clip that he lacked martial arts training and called Joe Rogan a black belt. Austin police reviewed his social media posts, deemed them credible terroristic threats, and obtained a arrest warrant. Johnson was detained on a Class B misdemeanor charged of making a terroristic threat. So that's what it was. He was arrested on Tuesday evening and booked into the Travis County Jail around 8:30 p.m. He appeared visibly erratic in footage, wearing a tactical vest and pacing. And I think it says even reaching for a utility knife before being handcuffed and taken away. And that's the video I'm talking about. We don't play it. If you want to go see it another time, you can go check it out. But it's on his Instagram. It's like a 12-minute video, I think. I watched the whole thing this morning because somebody was like, this is so sad to see. And I'm like, what happened to Liver King? And he like got knives. He like burning something and trying to set something on fire. I mean, there's a part of me that kind of feels sorry for him. But before I get to that part, I want to play the clip of what Joe Rogan said about him. Do we have the clip of him being erratic in the hotel room? What's that clip that you just had on the screen? Yeah, what is this?
That's just another clip of him talking erratically about Joe Rogan.
It's the second one.
It's the second one.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's play the second one, and then let's go to Joe Rogan's past comments about Liver King. Roll it.
Okay, real quick. P.S. What I'm hoping is that you, Joe Rogan, are thinking, I'm going to choke that out, lights out. I'm going to choke him out. And I kind of hope that if you win, that's how it happens, because like to wake up from that dream, that's a good feeling. And then anything else that you could break on me, break it on me. I hope that you won't feel me tap. That's never happening, tapping, because I have something actually to fight for. Actually, that's my family. I have a principle to fight for. That's what I'm, what if he actually does what he's saying? What if that would be interesting? That would be interesting. What do you have to fight for? You're fighting. I hope you're mad. You should choke me out. You know how to do that. You're trained. You're trained. You got a black belt. Black belt in jiu-jitsu. I hope you choke me out. And if you don't choke me out, these other limbs will be interesting. Should be very interesting. That's the PS. I already thought about my game plan. I don't have a plan. I'm not going to train. But I hope you've been training. And I'm ready whenever you're ready. If it's tomorrow, that will be great. Let's do it as soon as possible. If it's not tomorrow, then just whenever you're ready. Yeah. This is actually happening. And just remember on the backside, this is good. It's fun. It'll be fun. It'll be like, there's real tension, real fight, no shame on you, bro. shame on you. I'm going to make you pay. I am going to actually make you pay. And what you pay will be donated to Good and True. So that's how barbarians bleed.
All right, now let's play what Joe Rogan said about him that caused all this, I think, in part. Roll the clip.
There's no way you can look like that in your 40s. That jacked. I mean, he's preposterously jacked. We're talking about the Liver King, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There's a guy, if you don't know who the Liver King is, the guy calls himself the Liver King, big bushy beard, super jacked, eats raw liver, and just lifts like a maniac.
You know, I didn't think he was natural, but this guy literally right to my face would say, like, blatantly, I am natural, and he was just lying out through his fucking teeth, seemingly. Have you seen his apology?
No, I haven't. I want to
dude.
watch it. We're talking about the Liver King, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm making this video to apologize. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed because I lied and I misled a lot of people. Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach.
He did it for the hurting people. One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, I'm a producer for the Liver King. I'm like, what the f*** do you produce? What are you producing?
Like, how many UFC events did he try and kind of, like, cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas.
Oh, damn.
At the MGM. And then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry you feel bad, because that's just what happens when you get caught lying.
So just a little bit of truth telling about Liver King. And you know, people are it's very interesting. I guess when you don't have God in your life, you subject to do anything crazy. I couldn't live my life knowing that I was living a complete lie. Like, this is like me on here telling you guys I'm a conservative and really I voted for Kamala Harris, or I don't know what I would be doing, or I'm living a double life, right? I'm like married to my wife, and I'm saying I'm a good married man, and I got prostitutes I'm hiring out, and what I don't know how people live that kind of life. It's like if you want, you can't have both. You can't want the benefits of being a good man and the accolades of being a good man with integrity and leading people, and then also live the lifestyle of not being a good man, which is easier initially, right? The residual of it is bad, but it's easier to not have to live up to a standard. And you know, sometimes people have temptation to go out and do all kind of stuff, and so it's not that easy to do it if you want to be a good man. But you can't have both. You can't be considered a good man and think you're gonna get good reaping what you sow, and then living a terrible life. You can't do it. You know, that's just like me getting on here and lying to y'all about stuff, or saying that, oh, I'm raising money for this and it's going to something else. Or I just don't get how people can live with that. It's not that hard to just be like, this is who I am. And if you want to do some old crazy stuff, just tell people what you're doing. People that like you, they'll be with you on that. If I wanted to, I would never do this because it's pointless to do it. But just say it, if I wanted to raise money to get myself a Rolls Royce or something stupid. If I were to come on straight out and say, I want to get a Rolls Royce, I want to raise money to get me a Rolls Royce, and I told people straight out, I guarantee you, there are people that are listening to me right now that'll be like, I would love to help you get a Rolls Royce. Now, of course, I would never do that because it's stupid to do something like that. I'd rather raise money to help somebody in need in a depreciating car. But don't lie to people and say, no, I'm doing this for a charity. And then you go and spend the money on a Rolls Royce and you're supposed to be doing it for a charity. And you charity never saw the money. You know, I don't like it. I don't feel sorry for people. And Liver King is selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of supplements, and his brand is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And the dude that made up the whole thing, I don't even know if his ancestral products even work. I don't even think he know if they work. I don't even think he cares, because he's not using ancestral products. He's not drinking liver or eating liver and those liver. We bought some of his stuff a while back, and I didn't know it was his, but we bought some liver pills. Yeah, that stuff may be just placebo. And I'm going to tell y'all the honest to God truth. If he just been real, he would have never got in trouble. Nobody would have ever really thought that much about him. If he'd have said, I do all these ancestral tenets and stuff, which are great, which some of the stuff that he say is actually good. And then he say, yeah, but I take steroids because I got to uphold this image. And people will be like, yeah, that's cool. I want to take steroids that you taking. What you taking? And people will love you, and some people will be turned off, and some people will be, excited about what you're doing. You don't have to lie. I want to encourage everybody that's watching this, that you up and coming star or whatever. You can't have it both ways, and just be yourself, man. If you into weird stuff or you want to be a weirdo, just be a weirdo, man. There's a bunch of weirdos just like you. You don't have to try to be something you're not. It's hard to do that. With me, I'm just Brandon Tatum. I say whatever I want, right, wrong, or indifferent, and I'm not beholden to anybody. I don't. Ask my team. They get. Sometimes they think they're gonna lose their whole job once a year because there's a topic that come up that I ain't backing down from, and I would never back down for something that I believe is right. But anyway, I hope that Joe Rogan stays safe, and I hope this Liver King guy get the help he need because he messed up, man. You could look at him and tell he on some meth or something. Speaking of meth, I think D.L. Hughley is on meth. With the crazy, ridiculous takes that he have every time he talk. I want y'all to hear what I said about D.L. Hughley on Stephen A. Smith. And then I want you to compare that to what D.L. Hughley said, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. In the comment section, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Listen to what I said about D.L. Hughley on Stephen A. Smith, and then we're going to play D.L. Hughley clip, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Roll the clip.
If you were in front of D.L. Hughley right now, and you had an opportunity to talk to him about his position, about Trump, about the MAGA movement, about the GOP overall, particularly in comparison to what's going on with the left, other than what you just said, is there anything you would add?
Well, let me say this. I think that if D.L. Hughley was in front of me and we had a debate, it would be the most embarrassing time of his life. He gets no pushback from the black community, none whatsoever. He's in an echo chamber. It's very simple. I would ask D.L. Hughley, what policy positions are you saying that Donald Trump has failed in, that the Democrats has prospered in? And this is what he will say to me. He will give me a talking point from CNN that's been debunked 20 years ago. He doesn't have substance. What I will add to DL is I would say, DL, do you really care about the black community, or are you living in an environment where you're worshiping your skin color? Because if you care about the black community versus worshiping a skin color, why are you not out here advocating for things that will help the black community, like school choice, which is a Republican talking point? Democrats don't stand on school choice. And I think young black people, even like my son, should have the choice to go to the school that I think is best for him. I mean, we can go down a list. Illegal immigration. I guarantee you DL will be arguing me that it's wrong that Donald Trump deporting all these Mexican people. He didn't say nothing when Barack Obama did it, and Barack Obama was the deporter in chief. He deported more people than anybody in history.
That is correct.
So I think that every single point that D.L. Hughley has ever made that I have listened to him make is always incorrect. He probably thinks that Shador not going in the first round is racism because he has this vitriolic behavior against white folks. I don't think that had nothing to do with it.
Y'all heard a little bit of that. Now let's listen to DL. Let's listen to D.L. Hughley lose his socks on this podcast, because this man here had the nerve to ask him a simple question or challenge the stupidity that he's literally spewing every day or every week they have this fool on here. Roll the clip.
I have no idea.
Yes, you do, you coward. Name me one person, one competent person on this cabinet that can help him. One. Same time.
Dio, is there anything that Donald Trump could do that you would give him credit for?
Yes, he could have went to jail for starting a riot.
Okay, there's the answer. The things that you are saying, with all due respect, they are absolute nonsense. He torpedoed a deal with Iran because he doesn't like Barack Obama. Do you listen to this? Do you hear what you're saying?
He destroyed. Oh, stop it! The man, he wouldn't do that. The man who's renaming federal.
Wait, give me the proof. Give me the proof.
Like black people.
Let's talk in facts. Let's talk in facts. Let's talk in facts.
Why didn't he torpedo the deal? Why was
Because
the deal
it's a
torpedoed?
crap deal. It's a crap deal, Dio.
Well,
The whole world
what was crap about it,
recognizes
Mike?
that.
No.
What was crap
Obama
about it?
has said.
There's not. So a better deal is the one he's doing now.
Yes,
Stop.
they
apologize.
negotiated for 60 days. He said take a deal. They didn't take the deal. Now it seems like we are on the verge of peace, except the only difference is now their nuclear program
There is
is
nothing
decimated.
this man,
Dio, come on.
That man torpedoed that deal precisely because he didn't like Barack Obama. Half the stuff he
Every
does
president
is
we have
because he
had,
doesn't like-
DL,
Okay,
has said
okay.
that they
I
cannot
don't know
have
if-
nuclear weapons,
You're
including Barack
You're a
Obama.
mediocre coward who is a bull president, and all of you people enable him. That's all he does is break.
Okay,
You've got
but
to be
I don't know.
This
but-
hurts your side. It hurts your side, DL, because when something legitimately
I'm on
good
my
happens
side. I
for
don't
the
get- do you think
world,
you think I
can't
care what
admit
you
it.
think
You
of my
cannot
side?
admit it.
Do you think no, I despise him, but if he did
No
something
kidding,
right, I
you
would
despise
say
him. It's all. It's
I
we hear
despise
it.
him. I despise
I know
him.
you do.
Yes,
Everyone hears you.
I despise him as much as he despises black people. I despise him
Oh,
as much
more
as he despises
nonsense.
us.
It's more nonsense.
I was, by the way,
Let
Mike.
me ask you something. Why rename bases after Confederate generals? Why do it? Why destroy black history? Why
Good
do
question.
it?
Good question, Mike.
Why do it? You know why? Because he's
Well,
a
let him
fucking
answer,
racist,
DL.
and
Let
you
him
let
answer.
him do it.
If you're going to
Don't
ask
tell
him,
me.
you have to let him answer.
Why does he do it?
Give me the question once more, Dio. I'm sorry.
Why does he rename
I
bases after
have
Confederate
no
generals?
I have
Yes,
no
you do.
idea.
Yes, you do, you coward. He's a racist. That's why he does it.
Look,
All
Dio,
right.
let me tell you, it is such a sign of weakness that you cannot control your emotions.
I tell
You
what,
are
I don't
out
gotta
here.
control my
You
emotions.
are
I don't gotta control
attacking
my
me
emotions.
personally.
Okay,
It's
we're
a
now-
sign of
Hey,
it's a sign
guys,
of weakness, Dio.
guys, we're in
And
overtime.
somebody
We
your age,
are.
Dio, somebody your
Okay,
age
all
should
right.
have more
Babcock,
control over
Babcock
their
is
emotions.
letting a man
Everybody
rub
fall
his
back.
disgusting
We gotta
what you
Mike's
just
down.
made excuses for.
Gotta stop
And
for a
if you
second.
want to
Mike's
see me,
down.
I'll
Mike's
show you
down.
how weak I am.
Mike's
I'll
down.
show you how weak I am.
Okay,
Hold on. All right. We're going to do this civilly.
D.L. Hughley want to fight the man because he's calling him out on his BS. D.L. Hughley claiming that Donald Trump is changing bases to Confederate soldiers. It's the craziest thing ever. You know, the funny part of U.S. history is that the left likes to have what we call revisionist history. There were many black people that fought for the Confederacy side, or the Confederate side. There's many black people that fought on that side. There's a lot of black people that live in the South that supported the Confederacy. Not everything is black and white as slavery and not slavery. There's a lot of nuance there. And so to say that just because of a general who was a part of the Confederacy on a base that is in the Confederate South, is to think that that correlation has to do with the fact that Trump hates black people, because for Confederate soldiers Confederate soldiers don't necessarily trigger black people that got common sense. When you talk about Robert E. Lee doesn't trigger me. I think Robert E. Lee was an incredible warfighter. I think Robert E. Lee was a good man, to be honest. I think at his time, history shows that, fighting for the Confederacy wasn't a good look. But Robert E. Lee helped free slaves. Robert E. Lee helped free slaves in Africa. Robert E. Lee wasn't just this slave-owning military guy fighting for the Confederacy as the way they paint him. Robert E. Lee never bought slaves. Robert E. Lee never personally owned slaves, meaning that he didn't come up with the idea and decide to get slaves on the plantation. He inherited slaves. And in his will, when he died, his slaves would be freed. So he didn't believe in the perpetuation of slavery. Robert E. Lee also made mention, if you listen to anything that he said, that he believed slavery was wrong and that it needed to be abolished. So when they talk about Robert E. Lee and they try to make him out to be a Confederate soldier that was just racist against black people and hated all black people, that wasn't true. Robert E. Lee helped free slaves, and he helped free slaves in Africa. Many people don't know that Robert E. Lee did that because they believe in revisionist history. And D.L. Hughley don't know anything about history. He won't even look it up because if it's anything negative towards black people or his own argument, he'll never accept it. So again, let me know in the comment section if you think that if me and D.L. Hughley got into a debate, that'll be the worst day of his life, debate-wise. 100%. D.L. Hughley he hate black people. That's such a stupid, ridiculous argument to make that he hate black people. Like, what does hate? If hating black people is giving black people opportunities, then go ahead and hate me. If hating black people is passing legislation that will help the black community, then hating black people is a good thing. According to y'all fools. If you ask me, I think you could say Kamala Harris hated black people. I think you say Hillary Clinton hated black people. Joe Biden hated black people. You can make an argument for that. Why? Obama hated black people. Why do you say that? Because Obama's legislation, the way he legislated, the way he ran the country, I think that it was negative against black people. Look, they still complaining now, even after the first black president. Speaking of black people, here's another one. Joy Reid. You can't make this up. Joy Reid. Milk Dud Reid herself. She's the first dumbest black person on planet Earth. Probably the top 5 dumbest women on planet Earth. And the only reason I say she number 1, I thought she was number 2 because I thought Whoopi was dumb, but then she came back and she got this position over Whoopi. I thought what Whoopi said about Iran was the dumbest thing ever until I heard this. Roll the clip.
No one happier after Mamdani and his family than Eric Adams tonight, because everyone over 50 years old who remembers Times Square in the 1970s and the 1980s when you couldn't walk through.
Wrong clip. All right, y'all, that was the wrong clip. I think this is the right one. Roll it.
I find it rather extraordinary that we are very casually having a conversation about the tactical success or failure of dropping a 3,000.
She handsome. I just want to say that's a handsome woman right there. Girl on TV looking like her uncle. Girl, you tripping. You can't be ugly and stupid. If you're going to be ugly, at least you got to be smart. Like, y'all got to, hey, this is for everybody out there watching. Can you learn your strengths and weaknesses? Just like if you know, I'm not trying to be mean to nobody. Can I say it how I feel it? If you fat, you got to have a good attitude. Cute girls, they can get away with doing stuff fat girls can't get away with doing. Now, you can be cute and fat, but being fat sets you back a little bit. If you got a cute face and you fat, you can get away with stuff ugly face fat girls can't get away with. If you're cute, you can get away with stuff that non-cute girls can't get away with. And I go on and on. If you cute but you dumb, you ain't gonna get the man that a girl that's less cute that's smart will get. If you're cute and you fine and you got a nice body, but your brain dead, the girl that got a flat booty gonna have a better man than you. So you gotta know your strengths and weaknesses. If you cute, make sure you got a good attitude, you're gonna be a winner chicken dinner. If you ugly, make sure you nice. If you ugly and you on TV, make sure you're smart. At least have a nuanced perspective. You can't be dumb, mean, and ugly. That just ain't gonna work. And Joy Reid got it. She is the trinity of stupidity. Let me not say that. Some people are gonna get mad because I said the word trinity. She is the trifecta of stupidity. She dumb, ugly, and mean. Go back to the clip. Start it over. Get her back on there. Don't judge me. Pray for me. Roll it.
I find it rather extraordinary that we are very casually having a conversation about the tactical success or failure of dropping a 3,000-pound bomb or two
12 of them.
on a sovereign country that did not attack us. And we are failing to unpack or even address, as we're discussing whether or not it was effective how we bombed Iran, whether Donald Trump was correct in saying we obliterated their facilities, and not asking why on earth is the United States bombing a country that did not attack us? What on earth are we doing there at all?
Stop real quick. These people are the master conflators. That should be a shirt, master conflators. You got to be careful because you may say something else. But master conflators. Bombing the country. We didn't bomb a country. We bombed the nuclear facilities. That's a big difference. We didn't go over there just dropping bombs on infrastructure and people and all kind of stuff like we were at war. We dropped bombs on specific locations, and that's it. We got out of there. Roll the clip.
And why is it that there is this arrogance in the West and in the United States to say that we get to decide who can have nuclear energy? We get to decide that, and not just decide it, we get to act on it and drop bombs on a country that didn't attack us. We had no business dropping bombs on Iran. And so the question of whether the tactic worked or not, to me, ignores the fundamental moral question at hand. And I think that I'm not alone probably among Americans who are saying that this was something that we had absolutely no right to do.
But Americans recognize that for 46 years.
He's going to get to it, but let me stop it real quick. First and foremost, you don't have to wait for somebody to kill you to defend yourself. We got laws on the books today in America. If you got a man that's plotting to kidnap a kid and take advantage of that kid, you can arrest him for attempted, right? You got the man plotting. You don't have to wait till he kidnapped the kid. When he's telling you, I'm going to kidnap this person and do this to him, he got it in a manifesto. He's rapping about it in his music. He's telling you about it every time he talks about it. He hates this family, and he say, I'm going to kidnap this kid and do this. And he's building up he got the plan, he got the gloves, he got the alibi, he's doing all this, and you go, we got to wait till you do it first. Let's let the kid get hurt first, then we can arrest him. That's not how it worked, bruh. You over there talking reckless about America. We got intelligence to say you're building a nuclear bomb. We finna come over there and knock y'all off. That's just what's gonna happen. We don't have to wait for you to drop a nuclear bomb on us because it's too late. If you're putting the stuff out there, we're gonna come and we're gonna do our business. Roll the clip.
Years, Iran has been at war with us, starting with the hostage crisis.
So, I mean, there's that too.
It's huge. And no democracy. How about democracy? Why are we doing this? Because Israel has a democracy like the United States of America. Joy, the fact that you're backing a country
democracy
that
is not like the
slaughters
United States of America.
That slaughters people for their religious beliefs.
In the United States,
it's crazy that you're
people
like, go Iran.
LGBTQ people can't even serve in the military under the president you prefer.
Okay, but they get married.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're only a little bit. They're only a little bit discriminated against. Oh, they're allowed to live, but they're not allowed to serve in the United States military. They're being persecuted. They can't have their stories told in school. The United States is not exactly a beacon of human rights for gay people.
All right. There's a lot of countries around the world that are.
Hold on, bro. I was distracted. Go back a little bit to what she said. Did she say what I think she said?
Iran has been at war with us, starting with the hostage crisis.
So, I mean, there's that too.
It's huge. And no democracy. How about democracy? Why are we doing this? Because Israel has a democracy like the United States of America. Joy, the fact that you're backing a country
democracy
that
is not like the
slaughters
United States of America.
homosexuals, that slaughters people for their religious beliefs.
In the United States,
it's crazy that you're
people
like, go Iran.
LGBTQ people can't even serve in the military under the president you.
Why she just lie on TV? She said LGBTQ people can't. What do you mean? See, this is the master conflators. LGBTQ. She's talking about trans people. Because you could be gay and you could be lesbian and you could be freaky, which is bisexual. You just a freak. Quit acting like you just nasty. You want to sleep with everybody. You could be bisexual. You could be non-binary. You could be everything on the spectrum in the military. It's just the trans thing. You're biologically trying to act like you something you ain't. So what she says is, gay. He said gay people. He didn't say trans, because trans even worse. I don't know what they do to trans people over there. But just being gay, they'll wrap that blanket over your head and throw you out of a building. Hang you up, you hanging from a crane like this, gay and dead. This is what they do in Iran. But in America, you just can't be taking hormone blockers and all this and think you're going to go join the military and you have a mental illness. But gay people can be in the military. They be in the military. They always been in the military. Even back in the day, you could be gay. You just don't need to put it in everybody's face. How they going to know you gay? Serve in the military and do your job, and then you get out, you can let Tony get on your back later. I don't understand how people just keep talking about this gay stuff. You gay, you doing it. Man, people shouldn't even really know you gay or nothing you doing. Live your life, bruh. But this fool, it's just like Whoopi, is comparing stuff in America to Iran. It's not even close. They have state-run media. I heard this story, and this was verified by a young lady I just interviewed that come from Iran. When a woman does something and they go to hang her, if she's a virgin, according to their law, they can't hang virgins. So they got to go and rape her first and then hang her. What world are we talking? The LGBTQ, they can't, everybody don't love what they doing. Everybody don't celebrate them. That's wrong. That you might as well be in Iran because you want a man to be on the back of another man and everybody don't happy for him. They might as well be living in Iran. Shut up. This is probably the most open place for you to be gay in the world. That's why so many gay people here. Because you can be, they done made terminology, LGBTQA, all of it is just gay. I said this in my other video. There's no LGBTQ nothing, you just gay. Just be honest. If you gay, you gay. If you lesbian, you gay. If you bisexual, you gay. If you trans, you gay. Because you either trans with another woman, you're a man, transition to a woman, you with another woman, that's gay. Or you transition to another woman and you got a man on the back of you, and you got a pee-pee, you gay. What real man is non-binary? You gay. What are you in? Two spirits, one of your spirits gay. You just gay. Just say, back in the day, it used to be like, you gay or you not gay. Now they want special terms for it to make you feel better. They got people that say, trans people, if you sleep with a trans person, you ain't gay. No, you gay, bro. What you doing gay? You don't know if you want to claim it, but what you did was gay. You're a man and another man, that's gay. Woman on woman, that's gay. What are we talking about? Stop it. In America, you can do whatever you want. They even let you do drag stuff at school with kids in it. This country's so gay, they let people transition their kids. You know how barbaric that is? Little Johnny was 3 when he found out he's actually a girl. You should go to hell for that. Like immediately. Like God should be like, I'm tired of playing with you. You ain't right. You abusing that kid. They ain't doing nothing about it. I'm finna take you on. Come on in here and burn. Make sure you put some sunscreen on because you about to burn. What are we talking about here? Mutilating kids, getting a little kid breast cut off because they want to be a different gender is preposterous. Y'all, we don't hear the stories of kids that go through this and they regret it. I would put my life on it. Probably 80% of people who transition and stuff, they regret it. But what happens is they're being reinforced and told, no, this is normal. It's okay to be like this. And they go through life and they like, yeah, it's normal. Yeah, I am this real person. Yeah, this is really me now. Like I'm living my best life. On a pill every night crying. I'm living my best life. I am trans. And they hate it. And they can't change it because their mama and them did it to them when they were kids. They grow up like, oh man, my pee-pee don't work. Your mama and them screwed you. They should let you turn 18 and figure out if you want your pee-pee to work or not. Can you imagine? They go and transition you and you like, okay, I want to go back. Oh. What you mean I can't go back? You can't go back, bro. You can do whatever you want to take the implants out or whatever, but your Johnson & Johnson don't work no more. Now imagine a life being a man without the Johnson working. That's suicide. And all right, let me not say that. People be, Brandon, you supposed to be a Christian. I'm a real Christian, right? I know what the real reality is. A man without his pee-pee is like a man without legs. Hey, ask a man which one he want to lose, your pee-pee or your legs. Every man I know say cut my legs off to the bone, right? Don't even give me anesthesia. Cut them legs off. I do not want to go without my thing. All right. Unless you gay, right? No, I'm just playing. Unless you gay, maybe you don't care about you cut your pee-pee off and leave your legs. No, cut my legs off. I was going to say something and it was going to be inappropriate. I was going to say, ask my wife which one she want to cut off. But I ain't going to say that. All right, let's go to Super Chats. I think that's the last story. I appreciate you guys. We're going to get the Super Chat thing together where when you Super Chat, it'll pop up. Like everybody else has been doing for the last 15 years. We're going to get on board. So do we have some Super Chats or yes or no? We got one. Got one, good. Good and good. Good because I'm ready to go. Not good because I would love to get 1,000 of these. Anyway, let's see. Adam. It says there were good and bad people on both sides of the Civil War. My fourth generation uncle died around 21 as a Confederate soldier, and you would win against D.L. Hughley in the debate. He would only name call. 1,000%, man. He'll call me a coon, Uncle Tom, right off the bat, because I will whoop him like a kid throwing a fit at Target, which my kid did today. He lucky I wasn't there because I'd have total stow down. But I'd whoop D.L. Hughley debating like a bad kid on Christmas Eve. That, like, I don't know why people can't compartmentalize. Not every, and it's hard for people because they have the attention span and logical conclusiveness of a gnat, and they can't figure things out. But reality is that when you look at slavery, not every slave owner acted the same way to their slaves. Not every person who was a slave was living in a worse environment than they had previously lived in. Some people were taken care of. And that's not saying it was all. I'm not saying that everybody was taken, but some people were taken care of. Some people treated their slaves. And I studied this in college, right? Before college got woke. I studied Africana studies. I was going to major in Africana studies. And the part where we talked about slavery, we learned that slavery was multifaceted. Yes, some of it was evil, but the intent of slavery was not necessarily evil. It was normal. Because if y'all want to keep it real, slavery still go on today. They just let you spend your money to get something to eat. Back then, they used to feed you. But now they let you spend your money on food. You can't tell me if slavery don't act today. People don't have a choice to work in the cotton fields now. You don't have a choice. What else you gonna do? What else are you going to do out there? And I'm not saying it's directly correlated, but it is slave-like. People spend their whole life working on the job, getting paid minimum wage, out there in the picking cotton, no rights, no citizenship. People are pretty much slaves today. They got them working at their house, paying them nothing, paying them under the table. They get hurt. They're abusing these people. I mean, there's a form of it today. And a lot of people are slaves in their mind, which is just as bad. The body and the mind. Some people have been freed in the body, enslaved in the mind. And that to me is in part, just as bad as slavery. But yeah, slavery all wasn't the same. Everybody didn't have plantation slaves. Every white person didn't own a slave. Everybody in the South didn't agree with slavery. What are we even saying? Like, there's nuance to it. There were slave owners that treated their slaves right. Put them in the house, they fed them, they treated them like family. Some people had slaves that were in the house that they fed and they treated like family. And these slaves, some of them used to breastfeed their kids because when a woman is pregnant, other women can still lactate who are not pregnant. So some of the black slaves they owned was nurturing their babies in their house and they treated them with dignity. Slavery was just a weird concept. But in the grand scheme of slavery, meaning that you can beat them and kill them, or you can have them live in your house and you can feed them every day and they like nana. It was everybody, they had different stuff. Harriet Tubman, a lot of people don't realize this. Harriet Tubman when she started the Underground Railroad, she was married to a black man who was free. Now, make that make sense in your mind. Harriet Tubman started the Underground Railroad, although she was married to a black man who was free, and they lived together. Harriet Tubman used to go to work every day and come back. Now, of course, she owed a debt to the person who owned her slave owner, which is like the same thing we do. Your boss making the money that's supposed to be coming to your pocket and the taxes that they're taking out of your check. You pretty much in slavery half of the time. But what did she do? She wanted to liberate other black people that weren't in the situation she was in. Now, she did have a rough life. It wasn't easy. But when she started the Underground Railroad, her husband told her not to do it. Oh, have you thought of that? I think Harriet Tubman's some people in her family, either her parents or her sisters, they were free black people living in the South. Oh, your mind is twisted now because they lied. They're deceptive. They're not lying, they're deceptive. And I'm not saying slavery was good. Slavery was clearly bad, but you cannot manage expectations now back then. It's just like we used to put people in the guillotine. We used to hang people in America. We used to hang you. You know how barbaric hanging people was today? And then we used to do lecture chair. Some of y'all were alive when they used to put people in an electric chair and their eyes would come. They just put a blanket over their face because their eyeballs would pop out. That we did that in America. Electric chair is so barbaric today. Do y'all agree? Electric chair is barbaric today. We used to do the firing squad in America, where they line you up and shoot at you. I think people had blanks and one person had real bullets. And they didn't know, I don't think they knew who had real bullets or not, so nobody felt guilty. But now we look back on it and be like, we did what? We did what? We was a firing squad. Oh, we been in a chair where they electrocute them to death? That was weird. So you can't work off of the morals of the progressive theology that we experience or the progressive mindset that we have today versus back then. It's not the same. I mean, people used to have a car that had no seatbelts in it. You used to be able to drink and drive. There was no law against drinking and driving.
People went to public executions as a social event.
He said people went to public execution as a social event. People used to go to lynchings as a social event, which is probably what you're talking about, the public execution. You know, so these are things that we did. Back in the day, homosexuality was a mental illness. In the 70s, homosexuality was a mental illness. I still think it's a mental illness, but I think it's more acceptable in society. But like you know, back in the day, people used to have to go out in the outhouse. They didn't use toilet paper. People used to not take showers. There used to be cold showers. There was no hot running water in our country. So how did people take showers? People wouldn't take a shower every day. People wouldn't brush their teeth every day. It's all kind of stuff that went on in the past that we look back and say, God dang, how was people living like that? The stuff, the chemicals they used to put in our water. The fact that you used to be able to smoke cigarettes on an airplane. That wasn't too long ago. People used to smoke cigarettes on an airplane. I think they even no, it wasn't kids can smoke cigarettes. So pregnant people used to be able to smoke cigarettes. I mean, you go down a list of the crazy stuff that we used to do and we thought it was normal. We faked the moon landing. Like, now I'm convinced we did fake the moon landing. I don't lie. I was like, we faked the moon landing 100%. And then I came to the conclusion maybe we landed on the moon, but the footage is fake. And now I'm full blown like, I don't think we did it. And let me say this before y'all jump on me. Go look see what happened was in the 60s, that looked like technology, right? I put it on my life. Go look at the footage that they say is real footage of us landing on the moon. In the 60s, when we had rotary phone, TV wasn't that. No cell phones, no internet. With TVs and stuff wasn't a thing. I think they had these big box TV, color, black and white TVs. So when they played the moon landing with that box with the foil paper on it, people were like, whoa. Now, fast forward to 2025, the cell phone is like 1,000,000 times more powerful than the computers that they use to land on the moon. Now we realize with this crazy technology we have today that we can barely go get people from space. The highest we go out in space is like 300 miles. I mean, is it 300 miles? I think like 200 miles into space. Maybe I don't even know if it's that much. I think it's 200 miles. Not where the space station is at. That's as far as we go now. 200 miles. I think the moon is like 20,000 miles. How far is the moon from America? I'm not trying to push conspiracy, bro, but I'm like, not America, but you know what I'm saying. 232,000 miles. How far from here to the space station where people are at? We went 1,000 times further in 1967 or so, and we struggled just recently. Remember? We struggled just recently to go get those people from the space station, which was 200 miles. They went 230,000 miles to the moon, and they landed somehow. And how did they get off the moon? On the first try. Like what? Like it's no way they're being honest with us. And then I'm trying to push. Please, if you got information that I don't have, send it to me. I'm open to change my mind. And then when you ask them, where's the footage? Do you know that they said the footage is gone? That it was overwritten. The greatest thing to ever happen to mankind got overwritten somehow on accident. The film roll was overwritten, and we have no footage of the actual thing. No footage. I would fire Nick if he overwritten some footage of. It's like if I saw an alien walked in here and we were sitting down and did a podcast with an alien, and then Nick deleted the footage on accident. I would first of all I would kill him, and then I would fire him.
Well, actually, that'd be my issue. That'd probably be.
So I would kill both of y'all and then fire both of y'all after I killed you. I'm just kidding. Just somebody think you killing people. Nah, it's a joke. Okay. Nah, I'm probably not joking. I would be really bad. But that's what they got. And then they say, well, why don't we just go back? Well, we don't have the technology. Now, I heard a guy explain what he mean by we don't have the technology, but I still think it's something that can be easily overcome. So what are we really saying here, bruh? I challenge anybody that think I'm stupid or think I'm lying or think I'm a conspiracy theorist. Go watch the official footage of us landing on the moon. And you can say, how did they get that moon rover on that box? Nick, come on, y'all help me real quick. Can you pull up the film just real quick? The moon landing. Just pull up an image or some moon landing. And so people can see. Because when people would say the moon landing was fake, I said, that's stupid. The moon landing wasn't fake. Like, they wouldn't fake nothing like that. And somebody showed me the footage, and I said, there ain't no way that that's real. Like, yeah, somebody said, how was there a camera already there for landing? Like, it's stuff that they did, and it look, you like, do you see that thing that shot off in the air to go get the people from 200 miles away? You see how massive that machine was? Also, pull up a clip of the space station that Elon Musk, the Dragon, that went to get those people on launch. So you can see what it looked like launched. And fix my screen so I can see what the people see. And I'll get to your super chats, I promise.
Is it a clip of it or is it?
Maybe it's just a picture of it. I don't know if it's a picture of that space station that went up to rescue those people. But I want y'all to look at this, bruh. This is real footage. Am I tripping, bro? They came in on that thing. They went 230,000 miles on that thing right there that we see in the background. Look at that thing. And they're saying it landed right there. I mean, bruh, the dirt is not even disturbed. The weight of that machine in the deceleration propulsion, whatever it is, y'all know what I'm talking about, that should just blow debris to smithereens. And when they left, how did that thing launch them all the way out and they had enough gas and fuel? They had enough gas and fuel to get 230,000 miles. And then I guess that little rover there that you see, that was in the box that they in. So that thing was in that box. Where's the jet propulsion at? I mean, maybe I'm tripping, y'all. Maybe I'm wrong and there's something else. Look at this thing. This is SpaceX Dragon, and we don't even have a picture of it launching from Earth. But it had to launch to exit the atmosphere. So that little capsule had to be connected to some massive thing. It had to be connected to something massive. We can go to that. We'll put that picture up there. This is just the capsule. That thing had to escape the Earth atmosphere. And we did, and the astronauts was in that box over there. With no stars. They say the lights and would not let you see the stars. I'm just like, it should be a sin to believe this is real. It should be a sin to believe that we really landed on that thing. All right, let's see what the
It's not formatted.
Y'all can look it up on your own. We can't, I'm doing this off the cuff. But I think that thing that propelled them to go 200 miles was the size of, I don't know, a small building. Can you just look up the dimensions so I can read them out? Of the entire rocket, that Dragon, like the dimensions of the full Dragon before the capsule detaches. See, the capsule is 12 feet, but the full thing got to be like insane. I think it's 54 feet. Yeah. So it's the size of a tractor trailer, which is massive. Maybe one day I'll have it ready so I don't put them on the spot like that, because it's kind of hard to get that and put it over here. But I'm just saying, look at that thing, and it was connected to something even massive than that to get out of the atmosphere. And let's go back and look at this.
230 feet.
230-foot rocket. Now, I don't know what they said this thing popped out of, but 230-foot rocket launched that thing into space only to go 200 miles. They went 238,000 miles. That's 1,000 times further. And that little thing with this little rover in it was somehow us landing on the moon. And we have never been back since. And there's mirrors on the moon, right? And this is what a guy said, we put the mirrors there. But they only put 2, allegedly. And we got 6 mirrors on the moon now. And that was from us sending the robot to put the mirrors on the moon. So to me, we could have put all the mirrors on the moon with a robot. All we know. I just don't believe it, man. Somebody in the comment section, I know some of y'all disagree with me. Go back to the super chats. But man, when I watch this stuff and I'm watching that moon thing, and I start looking up some details, I'm like, you telling me we went 1,000 times further than we went to the space station? I don't know. How many years ago was that? 50, 60 years? Hold on, 60-some years ago? That's crazy. People were still drinking out of different water fountains back then, I think. All right. What time are you going live now? Time zone? Oh, I'm everywhere, y'all. I'll go live randomly. One day I'll get it together. You got to set up a debate with D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley would never debate me because he would never debate in good faith. Thank you, Gay AF episode. Grateful. Stay black. I don't know what that means. Okay, how gay is Brian Shapiro? Oh, he's super gay. No, I'm just playing. I don't know if he's gay, but he's definitely a weirdo. Not Ben, but Brian Shapiro. Isn't that guy that I debated? Or he came on my show?
Oh, yeah.
That dude is such a weirdo, man. He talked so much trash about me before he came on my show. I was like, at first I wasn't going to. No, I went on his show. At first I wasn't going to do it, but I was like, I'll go on this guy's show. Number one rule, 20-year retired. I don't care what you do from 1700 to 0400. Never bring your personal baggage to your service. Try guarantee you. Old school NCO, gonna take you behind the motor pool. That's how it used to be, and that's how it should always be. Why do people gotta put their business out there and make everybody care about it? I think it's straight people that do some nasty stuff. They may want to tie people up. What they do, bondage and torture or whatever. I didn't say torture, that sounds weird, but like they bite people and pinch them, and people, they role playing. Some people like the role play that they getting raped. They like the role play robbery, rape. They like to watch people watch their wife get banged up with some dude. Like people like to do all kind of nasty stuff. Do you get a name in a month? Like, what are we talking about, bro? And if you like to be up with a man, then that's you. But from 1700 to 0400, you ain't nothing gay about your service you doing. Like, how would I know you're a gay cop? Like, it ain't like you have a gay computer and you only take gay calls for service, and your call sign mean you gay, and your uniform is gay, and your walk and talk is gay, but in your command to make you sit in the gay seat. Man, that stuff ain't real, man. You can come to work and do your thing, man. Let's go out here and serve and protect the public, and then we go and do our own thing at home. And I think you can shut up unless somebody asks you. Like me, I don't talk about Jesus to people. They told me I can't. But you bring up Jesus, I can talk about it. So some people be like, man, I'm going to pray for you. Like, yeah, that's right. You need to pray because Jesus is the one. We'll go down that path. But if ain't nobody talking about Jesus, I ain't talking about Jesus to people. I'm impartially working on behalf of the government, and I'm here to enforce the law. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to talk sweet secrets in your ear. I'm here to enforce the law. Now, I can be personal. I mean, I can be personable with you. But, man, I'm not sitting there talking to criminals on the street. Yeah, you know what I did last night? Oh, your boy should be in the Hall of Fame. Ain't nobody saying that, but that's how gay people are. The fact that you telling people that you having sex with another man is projecting your sex life. Because nobody cares if you like other men. You telling us that you banging a dude. When a guy's banging you, you got to roll off of him. Let's see. Spot on, sir. Cracking me up. I appreciate it. How was it a camera on there before they landed? Yeah, I know. And how did the camera get the takeoff? And how did they get the footage? And it was one other thing they said they did. So people were wondering, how did the camera get there? And then how were they panning the camera? And they were claiming that they were remotely panning the camera 230,000 miles away from Houston. Bro, if I tell Trent right now, Trent, adjust the camera, he ain't going to get it right the first time he go to the left or go to the right. Hey. It's true. He ain't going to get it right the first time he go to the left and right. He's sitting right here in 2025 on probably the most technologically advanced machine. You telling me in the 60s when TV was black and white and there was no such thing as a cell phone that they are panning a camera from 230,000 miles away and precise. Ain't no way, gangster. They didn't even have cell phones, y'all. We couldn't even FaceTime people from a mile away. And they tell us they're broadcasting what happened on the moon for 230,000 miles away. It's just, you should like, if you believe that footage is real, we need to get you some help. You need to get some help. There ain't no effing way. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe all the conspiracies. I don't think the earth is flat and all that stuff. But I do feel like y'all playing me. I'm angry that people are trying to say that we landed on the moon with that footage. Now, we may have landed, but that wasn't it. I love your videos, and I agree with almost everything you say. But on this, you're on your own, brother. You're starting to sound like a little out there. On the moon landing? I think. You got, like, dude, it's no way that the video is real. There's no way that you cannot watch that video and say they got 230,000 miles away on that little thing and it landed in the surrounding area of the atmosphere and the moon wasn't even disturbed. It's like it just plopped down like this. And if it did, that's fine. How did it get out of there? I could be wrong. Somebody send me, since you say I'm out, I sound like I'm out there, send me evidence and why this is debunkable. And I'll change my mind. But that's crazy to me. Do y'all believe we landed on the moon, Nick? Yeah, we did. You believe we landed on the moon, Trent?
Give or take.
You look at that footage and you think we landed on the moon with that footage?
Some of the chat pulled up. They must have good Wi-Fi back then if they were able to broadcast it from the moon.
Bro, we didn't have computers. I mean, we didn't even have internet like that back then. It's like they playing us, bro. Just like Building 7. Like, it just failed. Oh my God. Michael Bryan Jr., thanks so much for being a member for 4 months. Let's see. The Pirate King, thanks so much for being a member of the Tatum squad. I appreciate it. But no, hold on. 4 months at the Tatum Force. So, Michael, thank you for being a Tatum Force member. MAGA, it says Trump stood on business 100%. And this guy, can I unhide it? It redacted it. I don't know, Waffle Cone. I'm sorry, but it looked like it redacted it. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47 is the top.